house by themselves, man. Look at this.
He a happy little baby. Look, he's smiling now.
I know, this baby was just crying and there ain't
My
nobody in
address
this house.
3512
Doors wide
Monty
open.
Verde.
I don't know what's going on, man. This is sad. Nobody in there. They just this house is wide open with these two little kids wandering around.
Yeah, the house looks trash.
It looked like somebody was moving out and they just left their kids. This is crazy. He just came. I just reached for him. He just came.
615-6300.
Anybody know who these children are?
Thank you.
You know where their parents are? Well, we called them the police, so if you know who these children are, y'all need to get here ASAP.
He's so tired. Come here. Hi, Papa.
He like, hey, anybody know this house? Anybody familiar with this house right here? Anybody familiar with this house? This is the house the little kids are at. No parents, no one. If they are in there, there's no response. And I'm not going in that house. But I went and grabbed that little kid out the garage because he was yelling and screaming. This is crazy. It looked like they was moving out and stuff all over the place. The little baby was right there in that thing right there. I just went and grabbed him. He was, cause make sure nothing was wrong with him. The baby was laying in there yelling, and I can hear him all the way from my house, like across the alley, about 2 or 3 houses down, screaming, just screaming. So I picked him up. But he got his chain and bracelet on with one shoe on. He's stepping. See what that police on. The house clear?
Yeah.
Dang, that's crazy. No one's there. Kids was left alone.
Make some phone calls.
He making his phone calls.
I guess you gotta take care of the baby till he make his phone calls. He's probably about to call the people.
He's playing dead on me.
This is what I.
Where'd your sock? You know where your sock went?
Okay, so this is part 3. I'm just gonna tell y'all what happened. So basically what happened, we were sitting in the house, my kids was playing outside in the backyard, and my kids was like, Mommy, there's a little boy outside walking around by himself. So we get up, we go outside. Sure enough, there's a little boy walking outside. He's like maybe 1 year old, walking outside, one shoe on, one shoe off. So the little boy leads us back to his house. We get back to the house. The garage door is wide open. The back door is wide open. And we just hear like a baby crying, screaming. So we walk up to the door. Sure enough, the little baby is sitting in the car seat just crying. So we knocking on the door. We're yelling in the house like, hey, anybody home? Anybody home? Nobody's home. But the little boy is still crying. So we walk around to the front of the house and we knock on the door, ring the doorbell. Still no answer, still no response, no nothing. But the door is unlocked. So then we basically just get the little baby out of the house so he can stop crying, pick him up. Happy little baby, cute little baby. We call the police. Police show up maybe like 20 minutes later. The police asked us like, what happened, what's going on, what do we know? We basically told them the same thing. The little boy was walking around in the streets. The other little baby was in the house crying, sitting in the car seat. The house looked like they either moved in a hurry and left the little kids, or the house was just trash basically. So then the police went inside the house, went upstairs, looked upstairs, nobody at home. Because I'm thinking like, well, maybe the mama just got unconscious or something happened. Nobody's in the house, no adults, no parents, no nothing. So the house was completely empty and these little kids was left in the house by themselves. So then the police just kind of walked away from us, got back in his car and was like, okay, I need to make some phone calls. So the whole time I'm still holding the little baby. My man's still playing like with the 1-year-old with his basketball, whatever, just to keep him quiet. And then another police pull up. He's asking what's going on. And he kind of pretty much did the same thing we did. Went to all the other neighbors' house and asked them like, hey, do you know who live here? Do you know what happened? Have you seen anybody? Nothing, because they live like down the alley from my house. So they don't live like right next door to me. They like live down the alley. So the little boy walked and turned a little bit. So then finally we're still sitting there with the police. We're still trying to figure out what to do. I'm guessing the police called CPS and we was waiting for them to show up, but they didn't show up. Then maybe like an hour with us finding the kids, a lady pulls up in a truck. So the lady sits in the truck for a minute first. So she sit in the truck for like maybe 5 minutes before she even get out the truck. Then she gets out the truck and she walks over to the house. So she calm. Like, she not worried about nothing. She walks over. She looks at me. She looks at the kids. I'm still holding this baby. And I don't know this neighbor. So I'm still holding this baby. The lady just walked straight past me. Went to the police and was like, oh, what happened? Why are you guys at my house? So we asking her like, ma'am, do you even know these kids? Like, these kids were in the streets. Like, do you know them? And she's like, yeah, I know these two. And we're like, okay, well, ma'am, they were in the streets. And she's like, oh, well, my brother was supposed to be home with them. Was my brother not home? And we like, ma'am, if your brother was home, then we wouldn't have the police here. We wouldn't be holding the babies. Like, what are you talking about? And she's like, oh, okay. So then the police was like, okay, well, we need to go inside the house and we need to go have a conversation. And the lady's still not trying to get these kids. So then the police was like, ma'am, you need to get these kids and we need to go into this house and we need to have a conversation. So the police get all of our information, take our statement or whatever and what we know. And then he takes the lady in the house. They kept her over there maybe like 30 minutes or so. And then after that, we kind of don't know what happened. So I don't know if CPS came. I don't know if we don't know. We just know the lady showed up. The police made her take the kids. They went in the house, had a conversation with her, and we went back to our house. And we kept checking to see if they were still there. She was still there. The police was still there, but I don't know what happened after that. But the kids are okay. He was such a happy baby. The other little boy, he at first wouldn't let us pick him up and stuff, so that was good. So at least he knew you're a stranger, I'm not gonna just be with you and let you pick me up. But it sucks that had to happen, but the people are still there. I don't know what's going on, but they still there. But for some of y'all to say, oh, y'all just posting these babies for views, y'all weird, because at the end of the day, we posted it to see if anybody knew who these kids was, to try to find out their parents, because this is a baby for real. So, and they not my next door neighbor. Like, the way my house is, they was down the alley. But far as I know, the kids are okay. That's the only update we got right now. Alright, so I guess this is like the final part, I guess, to my story. So I did get an update. Somebody else found out like where the house was, what the location was, and ended up getting the report. So the mama actually ended up getting arrested. They said she got like 2 counts of child endangerment. And then so they took the kids are now with their grandma. But I can show y'all, because he sent me the video, whoever this person was that like shared my video and found out this information. So I'm gonna put it in the background so y'all can hear what he said.
Okay, so everyone has seen this video yesterday, right?
Man, these kids was in the house by themselves, man. Look at this.
He a happy little baby. Look, he's smiling now.
I know, this baby was just crying and there ain't nobody in this house. I don't know what's going on, man. This is sad. This house is wide open with these 2 little kids wandering around. We called them the police, so you know who these children are. Y'all need to get here ASAP. Anybody know who these children are? You know where their parents are?
Well, I have an update, but I have to point something out about this video that unfortunately makes it sadder than it already is. From a father's perspective, the reason this baby was full of smiles is because it's used to being handled by strangers, and that should tell you everything you need to know. But the good news is that kid's mom got arrested. As most of you know, this happened yesterday in Denton, Texas. In this video, you see the cops show up. What's crazy to me is it still wasn't until a few hours later, which means this 20-year-old mother left her kids knowingly alone for 4 to 5 hours. As JD DeLay would say, wood chipper. The silver lining here is now that the kids are safely with their grandmother. But seriously,
so we basically appreciate everybody that shared our video, and we appreciate the people who didn't put like negative comments on our post, because we was really genuinely trying to help these kids. And I wasn't going in that house by myself, and my kids wasn't going in that house. So yes, I definitely went and got hubby like, babe, there's a baby over here, he's crying. The kids found the little boy, and we went together, we figured it out, we teamworked, we called. And I mean, we didn't want the lady to go to jail, but at the end of the day, these was babies, like babies. And the little baby, he was the sweetest little baby ever, and he was just so happy. Like, he reached for us to pick him up when we went to the house to go pick him up, because you could hear him from the alley just screaming, and it was sad. So, but we appreciate everybody that shared the videos. We appreciate everybody that found out and helped us and spread the word, because stuff like this shouldn't happen. I mean, I got 4 kids, and listen, it was just a sad situation, but we appreciate y'all.